Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story of incredible courage that's often overlooked in history books, the story of Mary and Emily Edmonson. Their journey from the slave markets of Washington, D.C. to becoming national abolitionist heroes is a powerful testament to resilience. Mary and Emily were two of 14 siblings, born into slavery in the nation's capital. Because of their light skin, they were considered highly valuable in the domestic slave trade. But in April 1848, they saw a chance for freedom. At just around 16 and 13 years old, they joined 75 other enslaved people aboard a schooner called the Pearl. It was the single largest non-violent escape attempt in U.S. history, a daring plan to sail up the Potomac River and find freedom in the North. The escape was organized by a network of white abolitionists and free black boat captains. They waited for the cover of night and set sail. But their hope was short-lived. A sudden storm pushed the Pearl aground near the Chesapeake Bay. And worse, they had been betrayed by an informant. A steamboat full of armed men caught up with them, and everyone on board was captured. The Pearl Incident, as it came to be known, sent shockwaves through Washington. Pro-slavery mobs rioted, and the captured men, women, and children were paraded through the streets in chains. The event was so inflammatory that it helped push Congress to pass the even harsher Fugitive Slave Law of 1850 for the people on the Pearl. The future was grim. Most were immediately sold to brutal plantations in the Deep South, a fate considered a death sentence. But the Edmonson family refused to give up. Their father, Paul, a free black man, worked tirelessly with abolitionist allies to raise money. The sisters were being held by a notorious slave trader named Joseph Bruin, who demanded a staggering $2,250 for their freedom. That's about $90,000 today. In a miraculous fundraising effort, the money was secured, and in November 1848, Mary and Emily were finally freed. Their journey wasn't over. For their safety, they were sent north to New York. From there, with support from prominent abolitionists like Reverend Henry Ward Beecher, they were enrolled at Oberlin College in Ohio. Oberlin was a beacon of progress at the time, one of the first colleges in the country to admit both black and white students, as well as women. At Oberlin, Mary and Emily received an education and began to heal from their trauma. This is where their story takes another incredible turn. To highlight the evils of slavery, Reverend Beecher staged a dramatic purchase of the sisters' freedom in front of his Brooklyn congregation before immediately setting them free. This event turned the poised and well-spoken sisters into abolitionist celebrities. They embarked on a national speaking tour across New York and New England. Their speeches were powerful. They shared their personal story, combined it with scripture, and made passionate calls for immediate emancipation. Their testimony was so moving that it was even included by Harriet Beecher Stowe in the key to Uncle Tom's Cabin, a companion book to her famous novel, where she confirmed that characters in her story were inspired by the sisters. Emily, in particular, was praised for her eloquence, with some comparing her to the great Frederick Douglass. They humanized the horrors of the slave trade, raising both awareness and funds for the abolitionist cause. Tragically, Mary's life was cut short. She died of tuberculosis in 1853 at the age of just 21. But Emily carried on their mission. She later married, and after the Civil War, she returned to Washington, D.C., where she dedicated her life to teaching in schools for newly freed African Americans. She lived until 1895, a witness to the freedom she fought so hard for. The Edmonson Sisters story is a powerful reminder that the fight for freedom was waged by real people with incredible strength. They transformed their personal tragedy into a national platform, helping to sway public opinion and fueling the movement that would eventually lead to the end of slavery in the District of Columbia and beyond. Their legacy of courage and resilience is one we should never forget. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as I do, please give this video a like, subscribe for more hidden histories, and share their story so it continues to be told. See you next time.